Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains episode cast list analysis. This time we will be going over the episode 99 cast list, as well as the episode 97 the preview at the end of 97. It'll be the 98 preview. I will be giving my final predictions as to what I think will happen in the upcoming Revolver and Lightning duel, which will conclude tomorrow. I am uploading this on Tuesday, and by the way, just want to give you guys a heads up, I will not be uploading my 98 review and my 98 reaction until Thursday. I am going to be reacting to it Wednesday night with friends of mine, my friend Pete and probably my friend Nick, so we are going to be doing a group reaction. That will be out as well as the review on Thursday. So there's going to be a one-day delay there, but I mean, this is a very big duel and we feel like we kind of need to react to it, so hopefully it is worth the one-day wait. I still do have a couple videos in the works for you guys tomorrow, but I just want to give you guys a heads up that I will not be uploading 98 VRains stuff until Thursday. But we are not here to talk about episode 98 of VRains. Well, actually we kind of are, but this is not really a good transition at all. But this is the cast list for 99. It just came out this morning. Big thank you to DMC for translating. Also be on the lookout for maybe some season 3 leaks, maybe a new opening leak. The V-Jump leaks should come out literally within the next like 24 to 48 hours. So hopefully, if the season is going to change, we will get some leaks in V-Jump, but we will just have to wait on that. And if that happens, of course, I will make a video covering the news. So if you do not want any spoilers, now is your chance to click off the video. 3, 2, 1. Let's begin. Episode 99, The Door to the New World. Bearing the hopes and wishes of his allies, Playmaker faces off against Bowman. Meanwhile, something abnormal happens to the people who are trapped in Link VRains, and they start to fall unconscious. Bowman then creates a powerful data storm and summons forth a terrifying Link monster. So 99 is kicking off the Bowman and Playmaker duel. What I would imagine is the final duel of this arc, which is why I feel like in May, when this duel comes to an end, the new season is going to begin. I'd imagine we will have a new opening. At least we should. So again, hopefully we will get news on that very, very soon. If we don't get any news on that in this V-Jump, that means this season is going to last another at least probably like 6-7 episodes after 99. So I don't really see how that would happen, but, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. So here is the cast list, everyone speaking, and I'm sure everyone is quickly glancing for Revolver or Lightning's name. We have Yusaku, Ai, Kusanagi, Akira, Emma, Faust, Gnome, Vira, Bowman, Naoki, Robapi, Frog/Pigeon, and extras. So the first thing I did, as I'm sure everyone did, is look to see if Revolver or Lightning were speaking. Neither of them are speaking in this episode, which, once again, kind of makes sense with what we knew from the summaries, because what we knew from the summaries 99, 100, and 101 is that Revolver and Lightning had no mention whatsoever. And if Revolver was going to be alive, you would imagine he would be joining Playmaker in this duel, which is kind of what I wish we got. I mean, we are getting round 4 of Playmaker Bowman, and even though this is Bowman in his final completed form with almost all of the Ignis, very well could be all of the Ignis except I, so that's cause to get excited for that because it's a newer threat. It's not the same Bowman that dueled the first or second time, but it would have been nice to maybe get a Playmaker and Revolver team up and see our first 2-on-1 duel in Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, but unfortunately it was not meant to be. As for the duel that is concluding tomorrow, Revolver and Lightning, the cast list does not give us any hints, which I kind of like. You know, if Lightning was speaking or Revolver was speaking, we would kind of say, well, you know, we know what's going to happen tomorrow. But literally in 98, I have no idea how that duel is going to play out. I saw a few people on Twitter. I usually like to avoid Twitter until I record my audio because I don't want other people's opinions to kind of influence mine, if that makes any sense. I do the same with reviews on Wednesdays when the episode comes out. I saw a few people on Twitter saying that this confirms Revolver is going to lose. I'm not 100% convinced about that. I still think there is that unpredictability factor where Revolver very well could defeat Lightning, but the cost was maybe him falling unconscious or him, for some reason, sacrificing himself. I always think back to the Kaito-Misael Moon duel, and I remember, you know, everyone thought Kaito was going to lose that duel, and if you look at the end result, you think Kaito does lose, because Kaito is the one who dies and gets absorbed, but he wins the duel. It's just he literally died on the moon, not because of, well, because of the injuries he sustained during the duel. So something like that could happen in this case. Either way, something is going to happen to Revolver. Whether it's him falling unconscious, whether it's him quote unquote dying for the time being. Maybe he is going to lose this duel. Who really knows? As for Lightning, I think it's much simpler to say what's going to happen to Lightning. Lightning is going to be absorbed by Bowman. Whether he wins, Bowman is going to forcibly absorb him. Whether he loses, Bowman is just going to absorb him. That's the easy explanation for Lightning, and I think it makes sense. I don't really think there's any extracurricular stuff that could happen there. At least I don't view anything crazy happening there, especially because the preview for 98, the very end of the preview, shows Bowman seemingly absorbing Lightning, and what I loved about this shot is Lightning does not seem happy about this at all. Remember, Lightning created Bowman to absorb the 6 Ignis, to absorb the 6 AI, so you would imagine that Lightning would be okay with this. Now, the reason maybe he's not is because they're in the middle of the duel. The duel might not be over, or maybe he's upset with it because he never actually planned to join Bowman. And what I mean by that is maybe he just wanted Bowman to carry the other 5 Ignis, and he was going to be like the leader of Bowman or side by side with Bowman, and those two were going to start to build the new world, and he didn't actually want to sink to the level of the other Ignis and join inside of Bowman. Maybe that was his plan all along. I know that's been a big theory. My friend Pete always talks about how he believes that's 100% the factual reasoning behind the relationship of Lightning and Bowman, and why Lightning seems to be very, especially recently, there definitely is some animosity on both sides between Lightning and Bowman. I mean, Bowman wants to do everything with honor, and Lightning just is an any means necessary kind of guy, and those ideals really have been clashing. And I wonder, because Lightning is using Jin as bait, as hostage in this episode, if that's going to be the reason why Bowman says, you know what, we're not doing it this way, and he just starts absorbing Lightning, and Bowman's become so powerful at this point that there's nothing Lightning can do to stop it. That's kind of what the end of the preview told me. Another thing that could happen that would be really interesting is if Bowman absorbs Lightning and says, I'm going to take over in this duel, and then beats Revolver. My goodness, you could not have a villain with more momentum going into the duel against Playmaker. If Bowman steps in for Lightning and beats Revolver, he has literally beaten Blue Maiden and Aqua, Soulburner and Flame, and Revolver. Soulburner and Revolver, probably the number 2 and number 3 strongest duelists in this universe, I would argue. So Bowman really is going to have a lot of momentum if that's the case going into this Playmaker duel. I could definitely see that being the case, him taking over in the middle for Lightning and then beating Revolver. I can't see it being a case where he takes over for Lightning and they start a new duel and then Bowman just like OTKs or FTKs Revolver, although that would be insane. I don't see it happening. I think that would be a little disrespectful towards Revolver as well if he was on the end of an FTK or an OTK. But I don't see anything like that happening. I don't see a new duel starting if, in fact, Lightning is not going to be able to finish this duel. Another thing I want to talk about in the 98 preview, there's a few interesting things going on, and just like 96 and 97 were big plot episodes, I expect 98 to be a very big plot episode as well. There's one line that I think is fascinating, and I believe it's Revolver saying to Lightning, you want to create another lost incident victim. And we see his father, Dr. Kogami. Remember, the summary for 98, Lightning is going to reveal a truth about Kogami that shocks Revolver. So Kogami is going to have a pretty big influential role in this episode from the afterlife. I mean, I'm assuming he's dead. Maybe that shocking secret is going to be that he uploaded his data into like a new server and he's still alive or something crazy like that. But it would not shock me, and this was a theory that actually Jesse Wood, one of my guests on the Talkin' Yu-Gi-Oh! Into the VRains podcast last Saturday, episode 11, which was a great episode. Definitely check it out if you have like an hour and a half to burn. He said this theory to me, and I actually really fell in love with this theory, that Lightning is not actually based off of Jin, but Lightning is instead based off of Dr. Kogami. Remember, Windy was based off of a character who we might never meet that had no evil tendencies. As far as we know, Jin doesn't have any evil tendencies. Now, maybe that's not true, because the only times we've ever seen him, he's been terrified and he's been scared, and maybe he is like a twisted person, but he's just a very, wimpy kind of, and wimpy is maybe not the right word to use, but you guys know what I mean, a very, scared and just broken character. those kind of characters don't usually have evil within them. From at least my experience watching shows, whenever you see a character like that that's very scared and intimidated by almost everything, that's in a mental rehab hospital at the beginning of season 2, they're usually not plotting on how they're going to destroy the world or do these awful things. Kogami, on the other hand, who we see in these simulations, wants to destroy all the Ignis, very similar to how Lightning wants to destroy all the humans, and Kogami, for what he did with the Hanoi Project, definitely has evil tendencies within him. I mean, to kidnap children, whatever your reasoning is one of the most immoral things that you can do. And then, of course, to torture them for 6 months, I mean, that just adds on top of the immorality that you've already done. So, Kogami, if Lightning is actually based off of Kogami, and Kogami was running the experiment on himself for whatever reason, and maybe Kogami created Lightning to destroy the Ignis or something crazy like that, it would not shock me. And that means maybe there is a 7th Ignis, or maybe Jin was unable to create an Ignis because he was so afraid to duel. When we see a image of Jin in the preview and he's getting shocked, he very interestingly, does not have a duel disk. I'm not sure if anyone else noticed this. I'm sure a few people noticed it, but Jin does not have a duel disk in this shot in the 98 preview. I know Yusaku had a duel disk. I know Homura had a duel disk when they were dueling. Now, maybe this is just a mini animation error. That's all it could be. Maybe the duel disk fell off or he refused to duel and they tried to shock him to duel. And because of that, there is actually no Ignis based off of Jin. That would be interesting, and I could see them kind of going that route, but you guys let me know if you buy into that at all. I mean, we're going to find that out in probably less than 24 hours. Just some last-second speculation here. One of my favorite things to do in regards to any Yu-Gi-Oh show, and especially, of course, right now, since it's airing, Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains. So really excited to hear from all of you down below. A special thank you to my Platinum tier patrons, Alexa Baker, Glen McGookin, Jorge Carrillo, James Rose, Samuel Stark, Thomas Adderley, Horace Maye, Goosey Q, and Vincent Van Der Veen, and to my Diamond tier patron, Jesse Wood, and to my Egyptian God tier patrons, Syn Cloud and Chris Swan. A huge thank you to everyone who supports me over on Patreon. I cannot say how much it helps me out. And a huge thank you to everyone who just watches my videos. Without you guys, I would not be able to do this. Thank you, by the way, for 55,000 subscribers on that probably never going to happen road to 100K, but hey, I mean, we can all dream, right? But in all seriousness, thank you for 55K. I never thought I'd ever get more than 5,000 when I first started, so it truly is very humbling, and I am very appreciative of all of you and this incredible community that I am in. I will talk to you down below. Let me know your last-minute predictions on this duel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.